Om Shanti, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome to another Yoga Small Talk, and we continue with 7 minutes Bhagavad Gita a day. We are reading from chapter 3, Lord Krishna's answer to Arjuna. Arjuna asking, if you are praising so much this actionlessness, this jnana yoga, why are you sending me to fight this terrible action? I want to find happiness. Please tell me, how will I find happiness like this? And we said that Lord Krishna started his answer explaining there is the path of knowledge and there is the path of action. But you will not reach actionlessness just by not doing. Remember the background? Arjuna said, this war, none of it will make me happy. So I'm going to the forest. I'm not doing this, right? I'm going to the forest and I will cease from this action. And here in verse 4, Lord Krishna gives a direct answer to this thought of Arjuna. Not by non-performance of action does man reach actionlessness, nor by mere renunciation does he attain to perfection. What is Lord Krishna telling us here? Actionlessness is a perfection of knowledge. It will not come to you by just sitting and doing nothing, but by sitting and doing nothing, the only thing that will come is that you will become lethargic. And not by mere renunciation does he attain perfection. Meaning you are telling me you are renouncing this world. You are telling me it is better indeed in this world to receive arms than to fight against teachers and relatives. But this will not help you because you are not going to the forest as a person who understands what renunciation is. You're just leaving behind something you don't want to do. And this is happening to many people who come to the spiritual path. Many times we come because we are having some crisis. One typical example of many people who have been burnt by relationships, and then they come to an ashram and say, I don't want to have anything to do with relationship ever again. I am taking on the garbs of a monk. But this will be just external, because this is not based on knowledge, on understanding why this practice is done. Not by mere renunciation does he attain to perfection. By walking away from actions that should be done, we will not reach the highest knowledge. Swami Sivananda tells us the sage who has attained to perfection or reached the state of actionlessness rests in his own essential nature. So it's the saint. As existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute, Satchit Ananda Swarupa. He has neither necessity for or no desire for action as means to an end. He has perfect satisfaction in the self. Meaning that he's already satisfied, so there is nothing to do to satisfy. Not because of going away from something. So it takes knowledge. And moreover, Lord Krishna is telling us in verse 5, verily none can ever remain for even a moment without performing action. For everyone is made to act helplessly indeed by the qualities born of nature. So you're saying you're going to become actionlessness. You're going to the woods. I will not fight. I will not act. Of course you will act. Every person alive is acting all the time. Our body is acting. We need to act to get, to sustain ourselves. We need to eat. We need to go to the bathroom. We need to clean ourselves. Actions are there all the time. So by choosing which actions yes and which actions not, by what's pleasant to me and what's not pleasant to me, we will not reach knowledge. And Lord Krishna is continuing. He says, in case you did not understand. 6. He who restraining the organs of action sits thinking of the sense object in mind, he of deluded understanding is called a hypocrite. So, if you will sit in the forest and will not be having your mind completely saturated with the reality of God, but rather sitting in the forest and thinking, oh, by now probably all my relatives perished in this war. Oh, I lost my fame. Oh, how did this happen? How did that happen? So if you sit like this in the forest, or Arjuna, instead of engaging in the battle, this is hypocritism. It's not at all knowledge, and it will take you nowhere. Remember, Lord Krishna is very concerned Arjuna is not doing his dharma, and not for a good reason. It will just take him nowhere. This is why Lord Krishna tells Arjuna again and again, fight. And what is he telling us? If you just walk away from things that are not pleasant to you, because you do not like them, because they are not comfortable for you, and go sit yourself somewhere trying to engage in actionlessness without a proper basis of knowledge, it will take you nowhere. You will not be reaching your worldly goals, you will not be reaching your spiritual goals, you will just be becoming more and more and more lethargic. So be very much careful about this desire to stop acting. So this is what Lord Krishna is telling us, and this is what the great teachers were telling us. As long as you are not ready, as long as you did not acquire the 4 means to liberation, which we mentioned in the previous talk, act. Let the action purify your mind. You will act anyway. Let the action purify your heart. Act skillfully. Then you will reach knowledge. Try to stop action prematurely, you will reach lethargy. And this is the instruction here. And Lord Krishna continues to give more example and to clarify it more and more and more and more. So it can become an actual practice for us. And this we will see in the next talks. Please join us. Om Shanti.